Welcome to the second half of the Bobby Dupre Show, presented to you each Thursday morning at 7 a.m. It replays at 7 a.m. on Friday morning, and of course on Saturdays and Sundays at 2 p.m. and of course 24 hours a day worldwide on your computer or your cell phone, for that matter.
Yep.
Internet.
Any technology.
That's correct. If you've got it, we own it. And I might add that this is my sidekick, Andrew Guitros.
Well, good morning. How are y'all?
We hopefully everyone is digesting the loss of the LSU Tigers. It was a real letdown, particularly in the sense that there was no scoring by the Tigers, and that was the first time, I think, in the history of the BCS Bowl, or in recent years, that a team has not scored any points. And of course, they scored all of 92 yards of total offense, passing and running.
We averaged just short of 40 points every game this year. And zeroed in. So something bad occurred, a letdown, whatever the reason is. They still have pre-ranked LSU as a #1 team for next year,
for this coming August season.
Almost everybody's coming back,
and so
except maybe the positions that we struggled in this year
not
coming back. So maybe
JJ will not be back. Is what this lady was screaming.
Right.
Yeah, and that's Jordan Jefferson. But anyhow, that's over with. That era is over with, and not ERR. It's
well, it was the ERR as well.
Era.
I think it was both this time.
Yeah, well, but we don't want to go there. But on the bright side, there's a picture that I took of.
Well, you want to finish the boxing
first? Okay, let's finish the boxing.
Kick back to our photos.
This is a couple of my friends, Kurt Bork, who's now a retired jockey, very successful, I might add, South Louisiana boy, and now a trainer. And of course, to the left of me is Chaz Babin, and of course, Lale Babin was the daddy, our personal friend, grew up in my neighborhood, and we went to all of his dealing whenever he sang anywhere.
He was a good musician.
And coming out of Evangeline Downs, I was greeted by this young couple here, Esau Washington and his lovely wife, set of twins, and a young daughter. Wow. And I might add that he is in sales for Dupre Logistics. I happened to see Reggie at a function Monday afternoon. Keep wanting to say Sunday, but it was Monday the game.
You had a long weekend.
And went to a little function, attended, that he and Cody had in the French Quarters. And I mentioned Esau's name, and he says he came to us green, and today he's one of our top salespersons. So thanks for saying hello. We had met at the LSU Tennessee game about 3 years ago while we were on that trip, and Reggie and he and others had attended that game.
That's a picture outside the Amberley building in downtown outside Opelousas. No, that's the Superdome. I'm sorry.
Superdome.
I thought it was the Amberley building.
Superdome.
That was before the Saints game.
Yep, before the Saints game.
And LSU's band played for the Saints game.
That's correct.
They got to play for a winner.
Yep.
And who else we have? We've got this gentleman.
This is Ron Foreman, and of course his brother Harold Foreman is the proud owner of Copper Crown, the horse training,
that's right.
and now they're in the process of building a sales auction pavilion at the present time. And of course Ron is a very well-known, successful businessman in New Orleans, where Harold comes from, the New Orleans area. And this is, we attended Mass at the Immaculate Conception Jesuit Church, and that's probably on Baronne, if I'm not mistaken, directly across the street from the rear of the what's the old hotel? It changed. It used to be the Fairmont. Now it's back to the
original name that Huey Long stayed in. It's It'll come to me.
We said it the other day. It was all decorated.
The
Roosevelt had a picture of it. Anyhow, beautiful. This is a beautiful church here. One of the prettiest, I guess, in Louisiana.
Louis Roussel that helped pay for the renovation in honor of his mother, it looks like.
Yep.
Very nice. And the pictures of the sanctuary, that's nice, man. And look, Joe Fred Gotcho and Miss Yvonne.
And
Eric
Senator Eric
Senator.
LaFleur
That's
from
right.
Ville Platte, Louisiana,
Good morning.
represents part of St. Landry, a big portion of Avoyelles, and practically all of Evangeline.
He's an LSU fan, I can tell you that, for sure.
A real big fan. And here are two
friends.
people that ran across walking in the French Quarters, Amy and Richard Gagne. And it was very nice of Amy to say, hello, Mr. Bobby, from across the street. And always good to, even though you see a lot of people, it's always good to see local people.
Yep.
And they were having a good time. They were going to have lunch. And here we in the square, Jackson Square, across from, Café de Monde is in one portion across the street, and the cathedral is on the other side, and this is in the Fontainebleau.
Fontainebleau, or something like that.
Kind of a hard name to pronounce.
The family name.
But we ran across some folks from Marksville, Louisiana, Rodney and his wife, and I have it down here, right here. Come
You
on,
always
Bobby.
do.
I always have it. Rodney Rabelais and Paige and the two sons, and Vicky and Bobby. Someone took the picture for us. And that afternoon, Saturday afternoon, or Saturday afternoon, I'm mixed up. But anyhow, one of the afternoons, either Saturday
Before
or Sunday.
one of the games.
Before one of the games, that's right. We were walking, and this was next to Jack's Brewery, former building. And this is Ray Nassari and his lovely wife, Anna. And Ray was the manager of the bituminous casualty company, of which Dupre Carrier Gotchall was at one time their largest Louisiana agent. And Ray still looks real good, healthy, and has just retired from the second job after another stint.
Look at your shoe shine buddy.
Shoe shine buddy. Every time I go there, I look for my buddy.
He shines tennis shoes too?
I just went there to tip him, and I just wanted to let everybody know that that's my shoe shine man.
There you go.
In Jackson Square. And I think
what
this
happened
bike...
to your bicycle? That was yours or somebody else's?
They kind of ripped it apart, but the chain is still holding the frame, and that's about all there is to it. It had it last
Well, look,
lap.
LA 31, we talked about it earlier. There you are in New Orleans with
You
some.
bet. And this is Rouse's Market in the French Quarters on Royal Street.
There you go.
And let me tell you, that is a huge store. It looks small from the outside.
Right.
It's real big and completely furnished. If you're downtown New Orleans and you need some groceries, this is a fine little
pale beer
store.
and a jar of peanut butter.
And then I've got two young ladies that when they were looking for a little information, spoke with them, found out they were from Anchorage, Alaska. I said, it's just right at freezing these days, but I said it was minus 40 in Fairbanks.
Yeah.
And I said, what about the summer? They said it's the hottest place in North America on certain days.
Really? That's wild.
That's correct. And
Cool.
this is a little building that I looked at about a year ago, I guess, or more, and the for sale sign is still on it, right down on Contai. Beautiful location, and that left that
Courtyard?
concrete courtyard there is actually a parking lot and available parking. Beautiful location. I just couldn't make it to put that kind of money out at this time of my life. And we went to the Maison Dupre, and it's still the same. We had a great time. And this is Fredericks on the Avenue. He's at 321 St. Charles Avenue, and this guy is something else. We were questioning him about the breakfast and eggs over easy, or you'll like it. I said, I want mine scrambled. He said, you'll like it. In other words, what did I write right here? You'll like it. That's what I'm going to remember. And he's either Rick or Fred at Fredericks,
there you go.
directly across the street from the Hilton Hotel at 333 St. Charles Avenue. He's at 321 St. Charles, across the road.
I'm going to sneak some sponsors in because we're going to run tight on time. Piggly Wiggly, locations throughout South Louisiana. You can go by your local Piggly Wiggly in Opelousas. We got 2 locations in north part of Opelousas and the south part of Opelousas as well. They got locations in Church Point, Rain, Scott, Cecilia, St. Martinville, even in Simsport. Right now they got the drumsticks of thighs at 89 cents a pound. They got sirloin pork chops, $1.19 a pound. pound, and they got stuffed pork chops, which they do a good job with, $1.99 a pound. Go buy your local Piggly Wiggly. The pig knows best. And how about LHC Group, all your home health care needs. LHC Group can help you with the nurses, with the equipment. That's the oxygen stuff, the special chairs, the special bed. They can bring in the rehab folks, come in and keep you working, keep those joints going, get you back in action. You know, if you had the hip surgery or you had major surgery, they can do all that. Get that nurse. If you need a nurse in home, LHC can help you with that kind of stuff as well. LHC, it's all about helping people. And let's go back to the photos. I know I'm jumping around on you.
No,
but
we
I'm trying to take care of sponsors and take care of pictures. Now, who you got here?
This is a couple of people that I met. He came over and introduced himself because he knew his dad and I had a little situation that occurred while we were both attending SLI College. We got into a little race in 2 cars. I had a daddy's 55 Ford, and he was...
the famous drag racing episode.
His daddy was Irvin Kirkpatrick, and he had a 55 Chevrolet. Had just come out with a V8 engine that year.
Which one was faster?
Well, we both chickened out. We went from Girard Park all the way to Johnston.
Right.
Or Johnson. Is it Johnson or Johnson? Whatever runs at the other end of the street. And about 11 o'clock, I got shaken out of my bed and was told to meet up at Dean Abel's office.
That's not good.
Which we did. We both went there, and the kind of man Dean Abel was, he almost apologized to us that he had to get us out of bed, but he needed to talk with us, and he offered us would a week of suspension for driving privileges on the campus sound good? And we both said, yes, sir. Because today, I think that'd be an expulsion from college. Could well be. And anyhow, I learned my lesson, never got caught for that kind of stunt again, and was reported by a cousin of mine who was living in Vet Village. I'm not going to name him, Bobby Fontenot, but I'm not going to name him.
He didn't want you to get
Dr.
hurt.
Bobby
He was worried about you.
He's a PhD doctor. And that's correct. It taught us a good lesson. Anyhow, this is Gilbert Kirkpatrick III. He goes by Kirk, and his daughter, and he lives in the Woodlands, right out of Houston, Texas. And his mama is Sue, who, of course, is still living. His daddy, Irvin, died many years ago, and Kirk works with Halliburton in the Woodlands, and real nice couple.
And look, the Carrier cousins.
The Carriers. Johnny on the left and Lauren on the right.
Right, with
Lauren is with
Lighthouse. Right, Lauren's with Hope for Opelousas, and Johnny's with Lighthouse Mission here. So
that's
both
correct.
give back to the community.
Working hard for the community.
And Cody Dupre.
My brother Cody.
And Miss Vicky.
And Vicky. And I didn't get any, I don't think that's about the only picture. Do we have any other pictures of that? I'm sorry, I didn't stay too long.
Didn't get Reggie?
Well, no, didn't get Reggie. He was just bouncing back and forth.
There's the LSU Alabama game. That's the highlight right here. We even lost the coin toss, man. It wasn't good. There's David and Julie Lane.
And Julie. Good morning. There were 2 of them that got kind of discouraged. Along with Yvonne walked all the way up there where we were sitting, and you know she doesn't like walking too much anymore. And but Joe, took care of, and they left a little early to get out of the crowd. We checking out of this Hilton Hotel on St. Charles.
Cassillo, we'll see you in 3.
The Hilton has 3 hotels that I know of right in that French Quarter area. This particular building was built in 1926 as the Louisiana Lodge, and that's the Masonic Lodge. Right. And Mark Carter's grandfather
was the first skyscraper in New Orleans?
First skyscraper, 19-story building in New Orleans, and his grandfather, Prentice Carter,
there it is, Prentice B.
on the right-hand side, was one of the directors of the first lodge building there, in charge of the building. And that building, of course, is next to the building is now the tallest building in Louisiana. One Shell Square, 62 stories tall.
And there's Mark. Mark working on a stone, right? No, he's loading his car.
He's loading his car.
Wasn't a good game. Now this one's a little bit blurry.
Yeah,
but we're gonna see why we're gonna show this. This is our hope for the future.
Hope for the future is right. This is Lamar Lewis from Breaux Bridge High. He's going to be a freshman linebacker at LSU this coming year. He is already signed up and will be attending spring semester. Real nice young